Hey guys, thanks for tuning in for another Mobility Flow. Today we're going to focus on ankles, hips, and shoulders. Really tight spots in a lot of people, so definitely a good one to tune into. Number one, we are going to do a child's pose pillow Y lift, and I labeled it that because at home you will not have these nifty little pads, so you can just use your couch pillows. If you already know that you have really horrible shoulder mobility, just go from the ground. Don't even elevate your shoulders, okay? So what we're gonna do is sit in a child's pose, right? So I'm gonna drive my hips back, have my hands on my pillows, thumbs are up. I'm gonna relax my head down on the floor, and once I'm down there, I'm gonna squeeze my shoulders and lift my hands. The idea is to not let your spine do the work, right? It's to force your shoulders to do the raising, to do the mobility. Good, so he's going to elevate. So I don't know if you can see in the camera, but he's shaking a little bit because it's difficult, right? It's definitely a struggle in the shoulders because when in life do we do this, right? Like we don't put ourselves in this position much, but the shoulders are definitely a joint that as we get older, we need to take really good care of. You wouldn't believe the amount of older people I've met that can't reach up in their cabinets to get things out. Like such a general life thing, right? Every day we reach in cabinets to take things out. You want to be able to do that forever, so taking care of your shoulders is extremely important. How's that feel?
Really hard.
Okay, can you show them what it would look like if it was wrong by using your spine? So basically what I don't want you to do is arch up through your back to try to lift your upper body off the ground with your head, right? So yeah, exactly, kind of compensating, right? So really good drill, like I said. If it's super difficult, get rid of the pillows and just work on just the floor lifting off. Also, if you have any shoulder pains, try moving how your hands are being held, right? Palms down might not be as hard versus palms in. Okay, so let's get rid of those pillows. Quadra up kick overs to crab reach. If you've been in the gym recently, you've probably done this in one of our warm-ups. I think this is a really cool exercise. Everyone looks like ninjas while they're doing it. So shoulder mobility and some hip extension, right? You get to feel like a little kid again. So what Roger's going to do is he's going to lift his knees slightly off the ground. He's going to pick his right hand off the ground and open up towards me, landing in a crab position. Now he's going to lift his right hand off the ground and extend back, reaching towards you with the camera, right? Coming back, oh, nope, now you're gonna travel back, yep, exactly, dropping back down into that bear crawl, right? And then opposite direction, hopefully you're still in the camera, and extending and reaching, good. So the loading arm, which is gonna be his right arm right now, that's where the shoulder mobility is coming in, right? That twisting, pulling on the joint, should feel really good. I did it with a client this morning who has shoulder issues and she loved it, right? And then that good hip extension, just a really good flow, right? Like how often do you use your body like this? We should be able to, but a lot of people might look at a move like this and be like, well, I can't move like that. Well, let's give it a shot and see how it feels, right? How's that feel, Roger? Yeah, pretty cool, right? All right, quadra up shoulders around the world. So mobility on the shoulder joint, right? We're gonna start on all fours. I'm going to have my thumb be the dominant puller of the movement. So I'm going to have my whole fist on the back of my shoulder. I'm going to elevate my hand, pull up, twisting through, down and around, and ending on my lumbar with my thumb up. Roger's going to do 5 each side. So he's going to start with his right arm, thumb is up. He's going to extend up towards you, pulling around, and then twisting and ending on his lumbar. Beautiful. How's that feel? Hard, yeah, hard. Yeah, anyone that has tight shoulders, like for me, this is no big deal. Like I barely even feel this. Something to remember about a mobility move like this, so this is a joint mobility exercise, right? It's not a muscular mobility exercise. I mean, you might feel it stretching your muscles, but you want to go slow and keep tension, right? So notice how stiff he looks, right? He's really controlling the movement, getting that shoulder to move all around in that joint. We want it to be comfortable moving around in the joint in all different ranges of motion. Really good. Super simple one. You could definitely watch your favorite TV show and do this. I know, easier said than done, but definitely worth a shot, right? And even if you don't have shoulder problems, like I said, you still need to take care of your shoulders. Like me, I don't have shoulder problems, but I still, when I do this stuff, you know, it feels good. It doesn't necessarily, not struggling, but it feels good. You think you're done? Okay. All right, so we're going to go now down to the hips. We're going to do hip and internal and external rotation, okay? Roger and I tried this beforehand, and he looks pretty funny doing it. So we'll do external first, super easy one, right? Knees are wide, feet are together, hands are down. I'm just going to push back into my hips, right? My feet are touching in the middle, and my knees are pushed out, right? So that's external on the hip. That's kind of making that femoral head move around externally in the joint. Now, internal, right? So now I'm going to switch. Now we're going to do knees together, feet out wide. Yep, Roger's going to show you the lateral view. And then you're going to do the same thing, push back, right? Exactly. So external, knees wide, push back. Internal, knees together, feet out, push back. Now, if you have any type of knee issues, be cautious of the internal just because it puts the knee in a weird position. I feel my knees doing it. They don't hurt, but they're kind of like, do you do this normally? No, you don't. So just be cautious with it. But a lot of people have tight hips, right? And some of us walk around not knowing we have tight hips. Really great way of working that joint. Once again, this is a joint mobility, so don't rush through it. Take your time, right? You'll get better at it for sure. Roger's already gotten better at it, even though he looks pretty funny doing it. How's that feel? Hard? Yeah, do you feel it in your knees? No. No, okay. You feel it in your hips? Okay, perfect, right? So he's feeling where he should. Maybe 5 or 6 each side of it with all of these movements, right? Which when we post on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, we'll make sure below we give instructions of how many to try, definitely when you're starting out. Okay, so we're going to stick with the hips. We're going to do a 90-90 twisting in the hip joint. So I'm going to have my left leg ahead of me, my right leg to the side of me. So this is 90-90 setup, or a Shin Box, also known as. I'm going to have my arms out wide, not hitting Roger. I'm going to fold forward, right? Keeping my spine nice and straight, right? If I go like this, I'm not working the hip joint anymore, right? I'm using my spine to compensate. So I'm going to stay nice and tall, push my chest forward. I'm going to now twist towards Roger and do the same. Obviously a large difference, right? Because this joint, now my femoral head is sitting right up on that acetabulum, your pelvis, right? And it's hard to lean that way. So you're not going to get a ton of, don't expect to fold in half that way. And if you do, you're probably cheating by rounding. Beautiful. How's that feel? Hip mobility, people, hip mobility, right? Yes. That femoral head should be able to move around in that joint. And I mean, I know mine is not great either, right? Like, we all can benefit from moves like this. Hold on, stay like that. Good. So now we're going to do lifts, right? So he's going to have Roger's going to put his arms out wide again. I might kick you. I'm going to lift my right leg, okay? Lift my right leg, extend. Put it back down. Now notice, I'm trying hard not to lean this way. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm trying hard to keep myself nice and straight so I'm not down here, right? And then my left leg, same idea. I'm going to lift, extend.
It's harder than it looks.
Good, go ahead and try.
It's harder than it looks.
I like to make things look easy. Good. Lifting the foot, extension, good. It's always nice when things are hard for Roger because they're not often that difficult for him. There you go, perfect. So don't think so hard, you might get a cramp in your brain. Perfect, good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Yeah, so same two movements on the opposite side, right? So he's setting his right leg up crossing, left leg behind. He's going to first do his folds, right? So he's going to fold at me, nice strong straight spine. Then he's going to look at the back of, or the wall behind us, and once again, keep that nice neutral spine and lean as much as he can through that joint. Good. We'll get one more. Perfect, good. Yeah, that one's not going to be as good as the frontal lean, obviously, because we do this a lot more in life, right? All right, so now he's going to do his lifts. So he's pulling his left foot off the floor, extending. Oh, he's getting another cramp. I got to find another demonstrator. Yeah, now he's going to lift his right foot and extend at me. Of course. There you go, beautiful. Perfect, good? Yeah? Okay, so last one, ankle mobility. Ankle mobility, I think, is something that a lot of people struggle with and don't realize it, and even people that work out all the time struggle with it. You'll notice it a lot if someone squats and their heels come off the ground, or they just feel like I can't get deep into a squat or even to 90 degrees, which is what we would like to have people go to. The deeper we squat, the more muscle we activate, the more blood flow we get. And I mean, your general quality of life improves with better mobility through your hips and knees and ankles. So ankles, definitely something that we pay attention to in our assessments and we work on through training with people. So ankle mobility, what we're going to do is we're going to have one foot up. I'm going to take my right hand, holding that middle of my, right up on my laces as tight as I can, and then I'm going to use my other hand to push my knee as forward as I can over that ankle, right? Why don't you show them from a lateral point of view so they can see? So Roger has exceptional ankle mobility, and so do I. So not two of the greatest people to show you what it might look like when it's difficult, but what people will feel is a really big drag in their Achilles, like right up the back of their ankles. Now, a lot of people would look at this and be like, his knee, it's going over his toes. Tell me why it shouldn't, right? Once again, better mobility, better quality of life, right? So he's increasing the mobility on his joint, both in his knee, his hip, and his ankle doing this, getting better blood flow, right? The better the blood flow, the healthier the joint. If you have injuries, you're gonna have limited blood flow in those areas, or you have areas that you don't, I don't wanna do that because it sometimes bothers me. Well, I understand that, but you definitely have to play with it once in a while so that you can break up tissue. How's that feel? Yeah? Really great squat warm-up, right? I knew quite a few clients that should be doing this every time before they squat, right? Awesome, really good. So ankles, hips, shoulders, nice easy movements that you could do watching your favorite TV shows or just along with us through the video. We will post this, and like I said, we'll make sure we leave below the amount of reps that maybe you could start out trying, okay? Feel free to reach out with any concerns, questions, you want to make fun of Roger, you want to tell me how pretty I am, any of the above is fine. All right, we love you. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.